Hello there. So it's when I just sit still at the sun that all the things are just popping in, right? Like realizations. Um, I'm in a really big transition level in my life for like 1.5 year, and I've lost so many people on the way. not not that they're not alive or anything. It's just that they're not here with me anymore in on my journey, right? And as I was sitting here in the sun, and I was thinking about how we have labeled things such as monogamous relationship or polyamorous or whatever. It just popped into my head the fact that like the traditional relationships that our grandparents used to have, and then our parents, and what I realized is that in this life, we're not a man to just do one thing, be with one person, right? And I mean, like, if that's for you, that's cool. All I'm really saying is life is flow. And if we keep being stuck, if we are stuck in relationships, friendships, dynamics which no longer work and puts us into loops, all we actually do is put more stagnation energy into our lives, and that blocks us. It blocks the abundance, it blocks the blessings, it blocks the change that could be for good, but we just cannot allow it to be. It blocks the flow, and that's when resistance comes, right? That's when a lot of things are started to pop up, such as illnesses, pains, aches, mental health problems. That's when things go hard. And sometimes when things go hard is because we are being called to change. But change is not always sunshine and rainbows. I can definitely tell you that. There are just some things that are happening that I wish for years to happen. Like, I wanted to live since I was 17 at my own apartment, right, to rent alone. And now I have it. Well, I'm not alone, but I have that thing. And I had this one dream of uploading videos on YouTube, and now I'm doing it. But it's like, it's always about the trip and the road and the journey. It's never about the final destination, because once you have it, it's like, oh, that's it. you know and it's like I had to learn how to sustain that one thing, right? And sometimes it's not easy, and changes are not easy, not at all easy. But what makes them difficult, I feel like, if when I look myself 1 year ago, what made it difficult for me is that I couldn't let go of the identity I had built around myself, you know but it was difficult because it wasn't just the identity I had built around myself, it was the identity everybody else had, and the thought everybody else had of me, and I had to get rid of that. I sold property to do that. I gave a lot of my stuff away. I cutted people from my life. I changed the way I eat. I changed so much things, right? And it wasn't easy. I changed the way I spoke things out, decisions, the way I showed up. And that is, of course, on process, right? Like on progress. Like it keeps going better, right? And sometimes you do have setbacks, but all I'm really trying to say is that I don't believe change is that difficult. Well, it is, but at the same time, it shouldn't be. And it doesn't have to be. what I realized till now is that if I had just trusted myself, flow, God, divine, I wouldn't, yeah, I would have been on a different level. It's just because I didn't truly trust in myself. It's because I wasn't in tune 100% with myself, with my intuition. Well, I was, but not 100%. I was just scared. I listened to myself. I was scared to trust myself. And this whole journey took me on the whole trip to learn how to do that. And now that I look back, like 1 or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, even when, when things went to shit, it's like, you know what? Everything went all right as it always does. And if I could just trust myself, the flow, God, that I would have been all right, then I wouldn't have this anxiety. I wouldn't have, to feel like things are difficult. I would have just let them happen. I would have been at ease, because I remember, like, it took me so many months, around 6 months, to actually find a house to rent. And then I had problems, and I only rented it for like 5 months, and then I had to go, which already put so much pressure. But if I had the mindset that I have now, that things are happening, wrongs and mistakes are being made, and it's okay, as long as you can get yourself out of a situation, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. But yeah, it was in this period of just looking for a house, I was just so anxious that I won't find it. And even though there was this voice inside of me saying that everything's going to be all right, I just couldn't trust it. I was just trying so hard to control every single thing in every single situation. I just couldn't. It was hard for me to just trust and let go and be at ease, because I have learned to just be a go-getter. I've learned to struggle. I'm a Capricorn rising, for everyone who knows about astrology. Like, I've never learned to be at ease, right? And I feel like life is teaching me to do that, because I also have Saturn in the 5th house, Taurus, and that sometimes may be also that, starting to master a little bit of this Venusian energy, of this Taurus energy, which is slow, because Taurus is the feminine essence of Venus. So it's like, take it slow, do it with your time. Good things are always happening with time. You see nature. Nothing in nature happens in just one night. Nothing. So it's a big indicator to do things slow and at ease. And I feel like if I just listen to everything's going to be alright, and I don't have to stress so much about it, and like, in some way the solution is going to be found. So just keep searching and just do it chilly or playfully or whatever. Like, that's one thing I would have said to myself in the past. Like, take it easy. Like, like, yeah, I know you wanna leave the home, because it has become a place that you can no longer be. But it's like, just trust, take it easy, be a little playful about it, don't worry so fucking much, because at the end of the day, everything is working out, and everything falls right into place at the right time. And what made me to put this video, because I was talking about stagnation and flow, I just thought of the traditional relationships, right? Like, that my grandparents had, and they went through so many rough patches, and just so many, like, so much trauma and all that. And I just realized, you know what? We're not meant to do that. Like, I'm happy my parents got a divorce, because I don't believe my mother could be with my father for so long and still be healthy. And she still has her problems, right? And that's on her. But I feel like in this life, we're not meant to do one thing. We're not meant to stay in a relationship, whether that is marriage or whatever. And it's beautiful that we get to understand and accept hug the fact that just some things don't work, or some things used to work and they no longer work, and we need to just have this mutable energy in our lives, which is things end. Okay, things end. For people who say they don't, they're lying. We're human beings. Things end. Seasons end all the time. You know, one flower that blooms in spring or summer, it does not bloom on autumn and winter. And that goes the other way also, right? And the foods that we eat are not the same foods that we eat every season. You know, and we are not the same person in every season. The person we used to be 1 year ago, we're not. Whether that is how we look, how we see things, how we act and react on life. So why do we pressure ourselves so much to not let things end? Is such a beautiful thing. And in Greek, when we say end, in ancient Greek, it meant purpose. There's purpose in ending. There's purpose in finishing something. There's purpose in just letting something be, in a cycle ending. There's purpose in that. So just that there's purpose, people coming and people going out of your life, because we're not meant to be forever. You know, we're meant to kick it with some people. We're meant to be with some people for years, or for some months, or for some weeks. And we're meant to actually, like, be present and just take everything in that we can, and appreciate every moment, right? That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be stuck and just, you know, like, hang on for dear life when something is not working, and something, it just puts more problems and blocks in our lives and in our ways. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, go with the flow, and when things need to end, they need to end. After winter must come spring. Change it comes eventually. I love that song. Everything is Everything by Lauryn Hill. So yeah, and we're at the last day of August, and I'm so excited because we're coming to fall. And every time fall, it's just such a spiritual journey for me, because it's my sun return on October. I'm a Halloween baby. And I don't know, I already feel the change. I already feel that, yes, some things need to end, some cycles need to close, and there's purpose in that. There are so many beautiful lessons asking to be integrated. There are just so many beautiful other doors that are waiting for you to open them. There's just so much beauty in creating and making, and just being open up to new possibilities, to you know, to possibilities, to opportunities, to new beginnings. There's just this beautiful feeling of just flow. And I mean, you know, I know how it is to feel stuck. I have a lot of fixed energy, but at the same time, what I have learned with this fixed energy is that when something needs to end, it needs to end. You need to end it. When something is just running in circles in your brain for so long, you need to stop it, because it's going to make you ill otherwise, right? So it's like that, you know, like when you need to put a full stop, you need to do it. You need to do it. And there's nothing wrong with endings. They literally are such big portals of new beginnings, and generally of new versions of you, you know. New ways, new lenses of seeing this life. We don't have to be the same all the time. So yeah, and this comes from a person that, you know, I used to believe for so many years that, you know, you can stay in one relationship and you can have this one friend forever. But the truth is, we change all the time. you know. And if you are one person that has learned and has chosen to evolve, that's good. But know that there are going to be people in your life that you love and cherish so much that they're not going to choose to come with you to the next level, or they, you know, they won't evolve, they won't change, they'll stay the same, and it's going to feel bitter, you know. But that's what happens, you know. Sometimes we grow and others don't, and we have to keep going what we have to do, what we have to keep going do, and they have to do them. So it's all about cherishing the journey and cherishing every lesson and the beautiful memories that we got to create, the beautiful presence that we got to share, the fact that they played a big part in our stories. But you know, some things do end. But I used to be a person that believed that, you know, you can't stay with some people forever. Now some people have to choose to grow with you, to evolve with you, if that is your plan, if that is, you know, your journey. Some people will choose to do that, but a lot of people won't. And just don't let that hurt your heart. Don't let that, well, it will, but don't let that blacken it. Don't let that, I don't know, like, take away the beauty of the journey that you shared and just the beauty of love, because there's always love. If you choose to see love, if you choose to choose love, you're going to keep seeing it. It's going to keep tapping into your life. So yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to say. I'm just so tired of this closed-minded way of seeing things, right? And it's crazy because, like, I'm saying this and we are in like pre-eclipse season. We're waiting for the eclipse to happen on the 7th of September around Pisces actually. But because, you know, there's going to be like 2 eclipses, one in Pisces, the other in Virgo. There's and you know, Virgo is where things are actually clearing and healing right now. All I'm saying is just 9th house shit right now. Like, I'm talking, like, I'm philosophizing, I'm changing my mindset, and that is one mindset that changes, you know, for me lately, is that things do end, you know. Relationships come and go, but that's not a bad thing. That is the purpose of life, of being present and cherishing and appreciating what you have on the now, because you won't have it forever. And it shouldn't supposed to be forever. So cherish it with you, wherever you are. Every person that is in your life, cherish it on the now, not on the tomorrow. Okay, so that's what I want to say. Thank you.